Charles, man, look, I know back in the days in the early 80s, you were working with Deputy Chief Art Garner, God bless his soul, and you guys were P2 dogs out there, weren't it?
We were P2 dogs, Wilshire Patrol, 7891, Baldwin Hills.
Talk to me. What happened, man? Tell me about this crazy caper you guys got involved in.
Well, back in the day, you got to remember, we didn't have a lot of the equipment that you guys have today. We didn't wear gloves. We didn't have tasers. We didn't have gas. But what we did have was PCP Suspects, which you guys missed out on. You missed out on naked PCP Suspects, which we used to run into all the time. And if you never got in a fight with a naked PCP suspect where it took 5 officers because they couldn't feel any pain, didn't matter what their size was, you never live. But that's another story. So
did it happen quite often with
back in the day it happened. You have OGs who call you now. They'll say, "Oh yeah, he's just bringing up memories. We used to fight naked PCP suspects."
So meth ain't got nothing. Meth ain't got nothing on PCP.
And none of the stuff got anything on PCP suspects back in the day. In the 70s and the 80s, it was crazy. But anyway, 7891 Baldwin Hills car from the top of Baldwin Hills and western La Brea to the 10 freeway. That was Wilshire, 7891. The east side was southwest. We get a call, 311 man, naked man at Venice and Western by Newberry's. Okay. Nobody even knows, kids won't even know what Newberry's is anymore. First of all, I'm pissed because another one of my friends, Kyle Jackson, we're all working morning watch. That's his area, and he's supposed to handle that. And now Kenny and I got to come out of Baldwin Hills to go way over to Western and Venice.
Got to handle the backyard.
Yeah, to handle a 311 man. It's morning watch. It's a Sunday morning. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. There's hardly anybody on the street. There's nobody in the parking lot. This big parking lot, Safeway and Newberry's. Kenny and I roll up, and sure enough, there's a naked man in the middle of the parking lot. There's a security guard there who called. He's like 20 feet away, and he just points, and he's like, yeah, obviously there's a naked man there. Well, obviously he's on PCP. We roll up. We kind of had a protocol for that.
Okay.
We roll up, and if you can catch them when they're calm, you can get them cuffed. And I don't care what everybody talk about them breaking cuffs and stuff. I don't believe it. Get the cuffs on them, and you got most of the battle won. So we get out of the car. The guy's blah, 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 all over the place, and he's naked, and he's flailing his arms. But I kind of sneak around behind him, and I'm talking real gentle, and I lower my voice, and I get the cuffs, and as soon as I get the cuffs on him, I said, okay, I'm good. I pull out my cord cuff leg restraints. I wrap his ankles, bring the cuff up. You know, this is all before not laying him on the stomach and all that. This is before all that. No gloves, none of that.
Nothing. Code 4 in custody?
Him up, put him in the back seat of the police car.
Okay.
Now, the whole caveat to this story is we didn't have these containers that the black and whites have now.
Okay.
We had to ride in the back seat with suspects.
Okay.
So Kenny's driving. It's his day to drive. I'm sitting behind him. The suspect is over on the passenger side. He's naked, but he's calm. Now we got to take him to General Hospital, to Unit 3.
Yeah.
So we drive up to Western. We make a right. We're headed to the freeway. Just as Kenny makes a left to get on the 10 freeway east, the guy goes into a full-blown whack attack. Now he's jumping up and down and banging his head on the guy, and he's naked, and he's pissing and stuff, and I'm pushing him away from me. Well, Kenny's driving on the freeway. Of course, he's laughing at me. He's laughing at me because I got to be in the back seat with this guy. So we
Are
pass.
you trying to control him or
I'm
something?
trying to control him, but I'm trying to keep him off of me so he don't piss on me and stuff. So and spit on me, and he's still in. He's just beating his head on the ceiling of the car. So we pass Vermont, then we pass Normandy, and then Vermont, and we're just about to get to Hoover. We're on the 10 freeway, eastbound, in the #1 lane. I can see Kenny. He's looking in the rearview mirror, and he's laughing at me. Chief Garner, you butthole, rest his soul.
Rest his soul.
P2 dog, he's looking at me. He's laughing. And I see the car before he does. There's a car on the wrong side of the freeway heading straight at us, westbound on the eastbound 10 freeway in the #1 lane. Kenny's looking at me laughing. I can tell he can't see the car. I screamed like a little girl. I said, Kenny! He looks forward. He sees the car. He ducks to the right. The car hits the car behind us, grazes off that car. Kenny overcorrects. We come back around to the left. We hit the center divider at probably 70 miles an hour. We spin around and do a 360, hit the center divider again. We flattened all 4 tires, broke the A-frame of the car, and busted all the windows out of the car. Even the PCP suspect is like, man, that's an E-ticket ride. Something just happened here. Of course, Kenny's in the daze. Even though I got to say, Kenny saved my life because he was driving.
Yes.
I reached over the
Amen.
seat and grabbed the mic, and I said, 7891 requesting help. We're dead in the water on the 10 freeway east, trying to get an airship on a Sunday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. Just ain't happening.
Yeah,
I said, I need an airship, and I need cars to look out. There's a car on the wrong side of the 10 freeway heading westbound on the eastbound freeway. They just hit the car behind us, and they're continuing, and I need an RA unit and blah, 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 because I'm thinking about the car behind us.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, I dropped the mic, and Kenny and I are just sitting in the car. Now, there's citizens. There's citizens running up, love citizens. Officers, are you okay? Are you okay? I mean, our car is totaled. Citizens, come over here. Officers, you got a naked man in the back seat of the car. I said, yeah, I know.
We know.
So finally, we get the first unit there. They take the naked PCP suspect. We're dead in the middle of the freeway, 4 flat tires, broken A-frame, waiting for somebody to come get us. There's glass fragments in our hair and all over everything. So this great traffic officer, rest his soul, and you'd ask me his name, I forget it, but he lives in there. He shows up, veteran traffic officer. He says, let me get a supervisor over here because you guys go off IOD. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. We're not hurt. He looks at the car. He looks at us brushing glass fragments out of our hair. And he says, what do you mean you're not hurt? I said, no, man, we want to make P3, man. We can't get hurt. And I know young people, you're not going to understand this, but you didn't get sick and you didn't go IOD. You just didn't get hurt. We said, man, we'll just go take some aspirin and we'll be okay and we'll be back at work tomorrow.
Take 2 and call me in the morning.
Yeah. So, caveat to this story. Kenny and I worked a couple of months together. Years go by. We both got to do what we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be the command staff route. I wanted to make detective, go to SIS. So obviously, he and I were best friends, and we were always connected at the hip.
Yeah, yes.
So even you'd see me. I look like the Maytag repairman most of the time. I'd be over at 77th Station. I'd have my badge on, but I look like the Maytag repairman. I'd walk into the bureau, walk up to the secretary. I say, hey, is Chief Garner around? And she looked at me like,
This is
kidding me?
Maytag.
Who's this Maytag repairman
Repairman.
coming in here looking for the chief? You don't have a schedule. And she see my badge, but she's just like, no, this guy. And he'd hear my name. He'd hear my voice. He said, Charles, is that you? And he would walk, whatever he was doing, and this is from different places he'd work, he would walk out and see me and stop whatever he was doing. And he'd tell the whole office, Charles, tell him the story. And so I tell this story about the naked PCP suspect. And the reason this story is important to me, and I know it's funny, it wasn't funny then,
no, it wasn't.
But it's funny now, is Kenny and I always said, whoever retired first, the other guy had to come to his retirement and tell the story. Yeah. And I don't want to start crying, but Kenny died before the story could be told. And true story, I wish back in the day, I wish I'd have got pictures of that black and white. I know it's in the archives somewhere, the traffic report, but I just look at the camera and say, Kenny, I finally got to tell the story where some other people can look at it and benefit from it.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks for sharing, Chuck. I really appreciate it. And these are stories and the capers that a lot of us don't even experience. And hey, man, just don't look like the Maytag salesman all over again. And we're going to be okay. Boss, thank you so much for sharing that story. And like always, please be safe out there. And don't forget to go Code 6. Thank you.